Welcome back to Pathway Freedom.
I'm Danielle.
I'm Jimmy.
This is weeks 4 and 5.
Monday, 5/21, day 23. We were in New Mexico at that point. We went to Rio Grande Gorge Bridge by accident. We were on our way to see the Earthships, and just was something that you had to pass to get there, so we pulled over and checked it out.
Yes, it was a very scenic bridge.
It's like a scenic overpass of a gorge, if you want to call it an overpass. They had a random little art thing, 6 or 7 little vendors that were just pulled off to the side at the rest area selling their jewelry and trinkets.
And then we drove to the Earthships. So the Earthships were interesting. We really expected more. I was disappointed. You could see them from the road, and they had one building that you could enter. But really, you could see all that online. You could see more online.
You can see more online. Well, I understand that the community is a real community and they have people living in the houses because they are houses to live in. But their one building that they have to show what Earthships are all about and how they function is set up more like an office. And I'm not 100% sure why you would set up something like that, like an office, to show people how you would be living in it.
Yeah.
I understand it showed some of the different things, like the solar setup, and it showed how the water in the garden in the front, but it just wasn't very good.
Did kind of walk around and get a few pictures. The ideas behind the Earthships are amazing. Using recycled materials to build a off-grid house is definitely still one of my dreams. But will I be going off of the Earthship guidelines? Probably not.
Well, I mean, take their basic ideas of the solar setup, the water setup,
right?
Their drainage and all that stuff. Like, it all makes sense.
And then we drove from New Mexico into Colorado. There was beautiful scenery along the way. We stopped over. We were kind of in the middle of nowhere at first, and there was just cows and us.
Yeah, it was just kind of mountains off to the one side, and then it was just open, almost desert, and nothing but cattle.
And then after the cows, we went through the mountains, and giant trees and rivers and everything start to pop up, and as we came to the top of the mountain, there was snow. 46 degrees? Wow. Yeah, that's snow. Man.
I'm not sure how to handle this.
I'm in shock.
Stopped in Trinidad, which as soon as we got into Colorado, we were like 15 miles over the border from New Mexico into Colorado. We stopped at some local gift shops. They had like 5 or 6 of them lined up in a row. Check those out. See what there was to see. Stayed the night there in Trinidad, and then the next morning went to Tuesday, 5/22, day 24. We planned out the rest of our route for the trip, because up until that point we had kind of been winging it. We knew kind of sort of where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do and the times that we wanted to be there, ish. And then in the parking lot in Trinidad, we spent probably like most of the day just figuring out what's next, what are points from this point around and about, and how we're going to come down. So, but we're still keeping it a mystery, not going to give away any spoilers.
Have a solid plan now, though.
Yes, well, solid-ish. It's still like an outline, but it's actually wrote down now. So, and we have things, we have specific points.
Yes, definitely.
We didn't have that before. It was kind of just, let's go see what's up. Drove to Colorado Springs.
We met up with a kind of an old friend of my family, Richie, and we went to Panino's.
Panino, that was actually really
good. We had a great time.
Okay, that brings us to Wednesday, 5/23, day 25 of the trip. We hiked the Red Rock open space. That was pretty cool. Pretty much parking at the base of the open space, because they call it an open space, but really it's like an open slope that slowly goes up. But it's really cool. A lot of rock formations and stuff like that. So, but the walk back, once you get up to the top, the walk back down is really nice. Up is not like crazy steep, but it's just constantly up the whole time you're walking.
Once you get up to the top, you do get a nice view of the Garden of the Gods.
Yes,
and
the Garden of the Gods, which is what I was taking pictures of all day and didn't even realize it. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure.
The scenery was really, really pretty. There was a very unique lake that was there. We stopped at the visitor center of Garden of Gods.
Yes, that was cool.
Really, really cool. Got some fudge.
And then we drove through the Garden of the Gods. They have a nice driving trail. Took a picture of the balancing rock thing.
We saw the balancing rock.
A couple other the key things through there we took pictures of.
We met back up with Richie. We are in Colorado Springs, and we have a guest.
Hey, how you guys doing?
This is Big Richie.
Big Richie. The Olfie one.
The Olfie one.
Yes. All right,
so you... 13 years, right? 13?
It's been 13 years, since we've seen each other. I know, I haven't seen your sisters in the same light. You're the first one I've seen. So, what's going on?
Now we are driving to...
the wind sculptures.
The wind sculptures.
Who's that hippie with the long hair? Look at that.
He's like wandering around in the background.
So, we are at the Kinetic Sculptures. What is the artist's name?
I don't remember, but I just remember he died about 20 years ago. You can look it up online, what it is. It's the Colorado Springs Wind Sculptures.
Wind Sculptures.
But yeah, I think just his family still lives here. They are, they're amazing. And there's one downtown too. He must have donated one to the downtown.
When the wind blows, it catches like little things on the inside, and the whole sculpture like moves, and like if it's a bird, it'll flap its wings and stuff like that.
Very, very cool.
It just was driven, the whole thing was driven by just the breeze, and they were giant. And then after we went and drove over the
Cheyenne Mountains?
Cheyenne Mountains, I believe is what they're called. We just drove straight past the falls and on up the mountain, and after a certain point it goes from a nice paved road to like a goat path.
No rails, no nothing.
No nothing. It was, some spots were pretty crazy, but there was really good views. You literally drive right over the mountain.
Tunnels you go through.
Pop out the other side. Yeah. That was pretty cool. After we drove down the other side, went and met up with a good friend of mine. Well, actually 3 good friends of mine. I have a lot of friends. Andrea, Raven, and Andrea's sister Allison. We all went to, what was the name of the place? Pub Dog. So that brings us to Thursday, 5/24, day 26. Oh yeah, we drove the Pikes Peak Highway.
Yes, $1 Million Highway.
That was awesome. Apparently, back in like the 20s or something like that, or early 1900s, really rich guy, I don't remember his name. I wish I could remember his name. Was it Pike? I don't think it was Pike.
I don't know.
But a really rich dude, he has a hotel and stuff in Colorado Springs that he also built around the same time. So this dude decided he was going to build this highway, and at the time he spent, what, over $1 million?
$1 million.
And that was in the early 1900s. He spent $1 million on this highway. So that's like the equivalence of like Bill Gates being like, I want to build this highway up to the top of this mountain. And it's a gnarly high mountain. What's the footage?
14,115 feet at the very top.
How do you remember it? I don't ever remember.
See it in my head. So as you're driving up the mountain, there's some places where you can pull over.
There's a lot of stops.
And hike. They had a really cool visitor center where you could mine for your own, or pan for your own gold or something.
You buy your bag of stones and stuff inside the gift shop, and then they have like water trickling down a little trough thing, and you dump it into the little grate, shake it out or whatever. It's supposed to be like gems and stuff, and natural gems from the area.
Very, very family friendly.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool.
Really, really cool. And then when you get to the top,
it's freezing.
Freezing up there.
46 degrees, but there's snow in some of the spots that you'd be walking around. You could see that the snow was melting, but it was still like there. And we walked through the snow in some of the areas, and it'd be like ankle deep, and then all of a sudden you'd sink to like past your knees.
Yeah.
So some areas were very thick. Had still a lot of snow left.
Look at this beautiful view. So we brought a snack.
This was a regular bag of cotton candy when we were in Florida. Now it's a bag of cotton candy that might take your eye out when you go to open it. There's a slight pressure difference.
we didn't really take into account. But you know what? It kind of fits. The cotton candy. Look at the little snow.
Yes,
Snowball, cotton candy, and I don't know if you could see, but there's snow. So I feel like this is the appropriate time
To eat the snowball cotton.
to eat the snowball cotton candy.
I feel like it's just gonna blow my ears out. Yeah.
They're a tear.
It's not gonna pop.
It won't pop.
Yeah,
It did.
From the other side. It's like as soon as it broke here, it popped there. It was under my hand.
Good morning, Suki.
Look. Looks like snowballs. In cotton candy form.
Perfect.
Wait, here we go. Wow.
Nice.
You want a piece? Oh, it's really good.
Yeah?
And they're like a cloud.
It's so good.
It's everywhere. There's so much.
The views were just breathtaking. We did get to see a fox.
Oh yeah, a little fat fox was up at the very top. People kind of had him cornered, was taking pictures of him and stuff. So I was trying to stay a little bit further back and let him not kind of freak out because he was starting to look a little nervous with that one dude. But he just was chilling up there. I don't know where he came from, and then he kind of just walked away and went on down the mountain. And we seen like a mountain beaver thing.
Yeah, this little fuzzy little thing. I don't know what he was, but some
I
kind
got pictures of it.
of mountain gopher, maybe? I don't know.
I got pictures of it, so I think maybe somebody will be like, "Hey, I know what that is." Comment if you know what this animal is, because we don't. So just driving up there and stopping at all the places, and then kind of driving back down. We kind of blasted back down real fast because it took a while to get up there. Plus it was super cold, and we were kind of just tired by that point. Hungry. We found this place called China Village. I don't know. Colorado had like the hookup on Chinese food, but apparently the China Village, if you're in Colorado Springs, is where you need to go.
So we went back to the Helen Hunt Falls and actually hiked up this time.
It's mainly steps almost the whole way. It's like a
it's really nice.
big natural staircase, basically. They've just put pieces of wood and then I guess pack it with dirt behind it. Another piece of wood, pack it with dirt, and just keep. So you got a nice staircase all the way down. Had some good views. Went all the way to the very top of the falls.
Hey, we better watch out. Oh, that's not so bad.
Spicy conditions may exist ahead. So then after the falls, we went down and to the downtown area. We got some really good ice cream at Josh's and John's. And
yeah, the Josh and John's is amazing if you ever get the chance.
Then we kind of walked around the downtown, saw the wind sculptures and the Humpty Dumpty little sculptures that are down there. We hung out with Andrea and Raven, and I fell asleep.
And that brings us to Friday, 5/25, day 27.
Once Raven got off work, we invited her to go. Richie picked us up, and we ended up picking up some Taco Star.
Taco Star!
Which is delicious.
Another one of those.
Great little Mexican place, very authentic.
Yeah, Colorado has like a bunch of these like 24-hour taco places. Orlando, if you could catch up on this idea, these places are amazing.
Amazing.
We went to a park in the downtown area.
We just hung out.
Chilled, and whenever Andrew got done, we got some alcohol, got some pizza, got swifty with it. Saturday, hung out all day, did clothes and stuff like that, and then Andrea and Raven were talking about going to a soccer game in Denver. And we're like, "Are you interested?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm interested. Let's check it out." So she actually upgraded her tickets and got us into one of the boxes.
Really, really cool.
Which, for our first time...
I'm not a sports person, but this is the way to do sports.
Yeah, for our first time doing a soccer game like that. Oh, apparently because of the holiday weekend, It was slammed.
Insane.
There wasn't one empty seat in the whole place. I swear it was slammed. And they told us for probably about 20 minutes about how it's dead.
It's gonna be so
You know,
bad.
yeah, we're fans, but you know they're not that good,
Yeah.
and so there's never anybody at their game. It was slam packed, and it was actually
We did lose.
it was a good game though. They were
Pretty good.
putting pressure on the whole time. I mean, for
Yeah.
Andrew, kind of playing them down. I was like, man, you tell them that they're no good, and here they are playing their asses off, and they're not.
3-2.
They're not that popular, and here the whole stadium slammed. I'm like, you just need to talk really bad about your team like every week before you go see
There you
them.
go.
That was a good time. It was really cool that Andrew did that for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
It was amazing. Sunday, Andrea and Raven took us to Manitou Springs, a small little mountain town. Cool views of the mountains, lots of little gift shops, and
It was the holiday weekend, so they had some of the streets closed. Parking was a little difficult. So we ended up stopping off and walking through the town. They had some really cool little shops, got some bath bombs, and
it's like a hippie shop.
they had that really cool little bridge section. Like, there's so many streams that just go through the town.
Yeah, they're cut right through, so you're just like walking along, and all of a sudden there's like
Little stream
little
pops up.
stream pops up, and there's little like walkways to get to the actual houses that are built on the other side of the
Other side.
stream. So,
And then we walked up to the incline.
drank the water.
Yes.
So, all around Manitou
There are
is
these different
springs, and some of them are straight up like soda water, natural
It's crazy.
from the
Bubbly,
ground,
fizzy,
bubbly.
sweet water.
Like some of them taste. The one tastes a little more like sulfury, but it wasn't. It
yeah.
wasn't bad. And then the other ones were more like soda carbonated,
Mhm.
which is really cool. But that was fun. We had to
That's really
taste all the different types of water, and I guess the different minerals that are present in the water.
And then we went to the Manitou Brewing Company.
Yes.
Had some good drinks
Yes, the
and
beer
good
was
food.
really-
Everything was a good time, good
Yes.
conversation. And then we went back to Andrew and Raven's house, played some board games,
Rick and Morty.
Rummikub, Rick and Morty.
We had some cheese and wine and
Mhm.
fruit. I didn't have any wine. I had beer. I think I had
We
beer.
had a White Russian.
A White Russian, because I don't play games. So that brings us to Monday, 28th, day 30. So,
Monday and Tuesday, we both kind of just got our stuff done that we needed to get done.
you know, basic household chores and whatnot. Wash things, clean things. Get ready for the trip ahead of us.
We kind of hung out, gave him some haircuts.
Yeah.
And then that brings us to Wednesday. We went to the Heart of Jerusalem. It's a really nice restaurant. They
That was a
had
really good restaurant.
really good food there. And then packed up and drove to Boulder. And we met up with Andrea and Raven
In Boulder.
in Boulder. They had some sort of talk show meetup that they were meeting friends
What is
up.
it called? Rick and Dan?
Tom and Dan?
Tom and Dan. Meet and greet.
Sanita's Brewery. So we met up with the other Tom and Dan fan club
Mhm.
members or something. And they had some cornhole boards set up and played some cornholes and had some beers and had a really good time.
Yeah, just chilled Thursday. And went to Green Ridge Campground.
Yep.
And
A
set
really
up
nice
there.
campground. They had like a big reservoir right there.
Shadow Mountain Reservoir. We walked around the camp right
Yep.
next to the Shadow Mountain Reservoir.
And they had like a dam there, and it was
Yeah.
really cool.
And that was like the
people
start.
fishing,
That's like the
and
start of the Colorado River.
we were at the start of the Colorado
The very
River.
start,
Yes.
where it all begins. Friday, not 6/1 day 34, Rocky Mountain National Park.
The Rocky Mountains
Yes.
are beautiful,
Amazing.
breathtaking.
And I hear they're even nicer in Canada too. The Rocky Mountain Park.
The Canadian Rocky Mountains,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was just so cool. The nature that you see is just incredible.
And it's, yeah, you go over a mountain and kind of turn a corner and go down, and then all of a sudden it's like literally like 46 degrees, snow everywhere.
Snow.
Come around that corner, come around out from, you know, in between where the like the shadow of the
Switchbacks?
mountain, once you comes out of that one and start going up or start going down a little bit more, and you're in the sun, then all of a sudden it jumps up to like 70, I want to say. It was like 71,
Yeah,
72, and it was literally dropping between like 50 and 70 the whole
Back and
drive
forth.
through the mountains up and down. Kind of sucked because some of the scenic points were in like the shadowy areas where it was like almost 50 degrees outside, and you're like, I don't want to get out, but you jump out real quick and take a couple pictures, jump back in, and then go to the other side of the mountain where it's like 72 degrees, and you're just like, oh wow, we could just stand out here for a minute, you know, and then the wind would start blowing and chill you off really good.
We went to the Alpine Visitor Center up there.
That was cool. Anyway, that's our adventure so far. Tune in next week to find out, because we're not going to tell you where we're going and what we're doing.
So thanks for tuning in. Now you're all caught up.
Thanks for
See you next
watching.
week.
Subscribe and like.
Subscribe and like.
Make us YouTube famous.
Yeah.
We want to do this forever.